shape in motion.
God, I do love the look of those, as in the colours. That blue. Yeah. Is that blue? It is blue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like a, I don't know, a pearlescent blue.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
It's not something TaylorMade aren't afraid of, is being out there, is it, when it comes to colours?
We have got our hands on some TaylorMade heads.
SIM2 and the SIM2 Max.
Lovely, thank you. And thank you to Stuart Barrett, who let me use them.
Who's let us top them, roof them.
Thanks, Stewie, from Rangerton Golf Club, head pro over there. So thanks, Stewie. Right, tell us what we're up to today then.
We're going to just head-to-head them. So we're going to put them, not really head-to-head, we're going to just test them both, review both, and see what the differences are between the two, the weight differences from the Max, the different weight on the heel instead of in the centre, and see how they perform differently from each other, really.
Guys, Dan Hendriksen here at Torquay Golf Club, and we are going to be, like Lee said, reviewing the TaylorMade new SIM2 driver. If you are new to the channel and you like what you're seeing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But for now, let's get on and give these drivers a good old whack. Loud pop off the face.
It's a bomb machine this time.
Is it a bomb machine?
Low spin, bomb machine.
So which one are we starting off with then, Lee?
SIM2.
The standard SIM, not the Max. We're going to start off with the SIM. Yeah. What loft have we got in this head?
So there's a 9-degree standard loft, but we can adjust loft plus or minus 2 degrees, so it can go down to 7 or up to 11.
Okay, so we're going to leave it as standard for this test, aren't we, for both of us? And what shaft are we going to be using in the test for both of these products?
So it's the 70 grams 6.0, so a little bit heavier than me and you would normally choose.
Yeah,
I think we both picked the 60.
Gram, yeah.
But it's 70 grams stiff, so it kind of evens itself out a little bit for me. Hazardous RDX smoke.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to hit this driver to get us going with. You're going to hit a few with this. Just visually though, what does it kind of look like to you? I mean, I said it earlier, but I love the colour. I've
always been a fan of TaylorMade looks wise, and I think the fact that this feels, I mean, I don't know because I didn't really use much of the SIM product, but this front line here feels a bit thinner. The TaylorMade lineup markers moved from this painted point onto the carbon crown, which I do like, and obviously this blue just adds. It looks
really classy.
Yeah, it's good. I do really like it. I think the colour combination works really well, and it's very TaylorMade as well.
Yeah. Okay, well let's start off with the SIM, and then we'll get you to hit some Max, and then we'll do the same with me in just a minute. So moving on to the Max head, is there much of a difference when you look down at these two drivers from the Max to the standard SIM?
For me, they're identical.
Yeah.
I couldn't, if you put them next to each other, I won't be able to tell you which one's which.
Okay.
I don't know if they're slightly different sizes. I don't think they are.
Right.
From what we've sort of looked at and measured with our eyes, there seems to be no apparent difference. They just look identical.
Feel off the face, are they feeling any different?
Feels a little bit more firmer, this face, to the SIM. I don't know if that's because of the added weight at the back or the movement of the weight into the heel instead of in the centre. Yeah. So it feels a little bit more firmer. But they both feel fantastic. They're just a great pair of drivers.
And then loft then, Lee?
So we've got the 10.5 head. So to try and make it as even as possible, I just lowered it down 2 degrees. So it's half a degree stronger than the SIM is. Just to sort of aid that comparison a little bit.
We've got the same shaft as
exactly the same shaft.
Yeah, I've only got one shaft to change it over around. Okay, right, well let's carry on hitting, and then I'll have a quick go. So for me, I wasn't a massive fan of the old SIM driver that when they brought out. I love the old M2s and M1s that they had. I love the visuals of those, but just wasn't a big fan when they moved into the SIM. My brother had it in the bag for a little while, and I just couldn't get my head around the look of it when I looked down. It was very pear-shaped, but to me, and I don't know whether it's to do with the colouring and the carbon kind of look on top, but it certainly looked almost like over pear-shaped, like an extreme version of pear-shaped. And I couldn't work out, like if you look down this club here now, can you see obviously the chevron on top there, the TaylorMade sign on top? If you look at where that point is in the center of this club to where the weight is in the back port here. Can you see the difference there?
Yeah, it's slightly.
They're off, aren't they? Like it's like there's the line across the face.
But it follows that angle here. So if you look at this, like if you put where the dot is here,
yeah,
it's following.
It follows the angle that
there.
way. So, but that to me then looks like I'm then got to come across the ball this way. That's what I can't get my head around, and it was quite noticeable when I had the old SIM. Whereas when I look down at this one now, it's probably not as extreme as what I saw in the old one, and maybe that's why I'm kind of preferring the look of this. But I still don't get it. I don't get why I want this weight kind of directly behind the center point of the club. And there's obviously there's going to be some tech and R&D involved in why it's there, but for me visually I just can't get my head around it. I also don't think that this point here at the top, I don't feel like that, to my eyes, it's not overly centered. It should be more up there, is where the center point to me feels like it should be, but the logo is more towards the heel, which I used to see that in an old Callaway Epic driver, the original Callaway Epic, the original one, not the Sub-Zero. That chevron used to be further down towards the heel, and again, I really struggled to line it up properly.
Different sound?
Completely different sound. Like this is, I'm a bit surprised that I'm getting the differences in sound between the two of these. I would expect the standard SIM to be more thuddy off the face, more what I would expect tour players to want to hear. But even though it's not too tinny, it's quite a nice sound, it's slightly tinnier than what I'm getting out of the Max, and obviously that must have something to do with where they've positioned the weight. But I'm definitely sensing more of a thuddier sound off the face, which is actually quite nice acoustically wise to my ear. Visually though, just what Lee said, I'm not feeling anything different from what I'm getting out of the Max to what I'm getting out of this Max compared to what I'm getting out of the SIM. It will be interesting though, obviously weight port being pushed into the heel, I will be interested to see, because we got them dotted up, as to where I'm striking both of them. So am I starting to track the CG position more into the heel? Am I feeling like I'm going to get it a bit more of a heel strike? That first shot there didn't feel a massive difference, but visually exactly the same as what I'm getting out of the SIM. Sound just that little bit better. Numbers then, Lee? Did you enjoy it hitting that?
I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed hitting the SIM. The SIM was too shallow faced. I thought I like this, the fact it's got a bit of a deeper face.
Oh, what? You're noticing that when you're looking down, are you?
Yeah, I noticed the deeper face compared to the SIM. The SIM for me was always a roofing opportunity.
Oh wow, okay. Well, I'll have a look at that. I didn't even notice that when I was hitting it. But so ball speed from the SIM, the standard SIM2, is 166.8. If you compare that to the Max, you're getting 165.7.
Yeah.
So 1 mile an hour quicker off the face. Launching them pretty much the same, 13.4 compared to 13.3.
Yep.
But now we see the difference in the spin.
Yeah.
So 1.7 in the spin out of the SIM2 compared to 2.2, nearly 2.3 out of the SIM2 Max.
It's just a low spinning bomb machine, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's a 59 club.
Yeah, that's the one you definitely want to put in there where it doesn't matter if you're a little bit all over the place. But 33 yards in a peak height with the SIM compared to 39 yards peak height with the Max.
Yeah. And
then, you know, it's because of the amount or the least amount of spin that you're getting out of it, your potential for it, as Lee's quite rightly said, 285 on an average carry compared to 277. I mean, it's still performing.
Yeah, I think it's just there was one low spinner out there, which is 1600, which has kind of squiffed those numbers a bit.
Yeah.
2724. I think it would average out around 2.5 with the odd low spin bombing.
Yeah.
But this isn't getting above 2000 anytime soon.
No, it's not, is it? The one close there at 1900 revs, but and overturning everything just a little bit left, 22 yards left.
It's my path at the minute. But at least I've taken the right side of a course out.
Okay, well what about me then? So I'm getting, with the SIM2, I'm getting 149, so 150 ball speed off the club face, launching it at 15 on an average. And if you compare that to what I'm getting out of the Max, which is really interesting, this 153 ball speed, which is really good. So SIM2 a little bit low at 150. I'm normally around 152 to 153, getting 153 out of the Max, launching them very much the same at 15.1 and 15.4. And the spin, both of them at 2.2 in the SIM compared to 2.1 in the SIM and 2.1 in the Max. So not getting, maybe that's down to the strike, so we'll look at that in just a minute, but 38 yards high out of the SIM, launching it just that little bit lower, and that's what's peaking out just a little bit lower, compared to 40 yards high with the Max. So 260 carry out the SIM compared to 266.
The only thing, if the strike locations are similar, the only real difference between the two is there's more weight in the SIM Max, so maybe that just suits your swing better, which is giving you
possibly.
better club head speed.
I just want to have a look at where I'm striking it. So yeah, I'm getting it a little bit more, well, it's 1 millimeter higher with the Max, and I'm 3 millimeters more in the toe with the Max. But it's the club head speed. Look at the club head speed there. So I've gone from 105, 106. So I've picked up 2 miles an hour in club head speed out of the Max that I've got with the SIM. And I know I'm not swinging it overly quick today because of what I did. You know, I did a bit of a workout session yesterday, so I'm feeling a bit sore. But to pick up those 2 miles an hour, I'm not sure what that is because I've not done anything differently there.
It's just there's an obvious weight difference in the heads because of the extra weight on the SIM Max. Maybe it suits your swing better.
Yeah, absolutely right. But all in all, pretty good numbers.
Yeah, performs
pretty good
well.
numbers. Yeah, really good.
It does exactly what I thought it would do. SIM would be low spinning, Max would be brought up, and it's done that. Or for me, for you, it's hard to separate.
No, based on what those numbers are right now, Max all day.
Yeah, completely.
So which one's it going to be?
Again, like we did when we did the Epic review, it depends what type of. I think as an everyday club,
yes,
none of them.
No,
not too low spinning for where I am with my driving at the minute. But if I had to pick one of the two for an everyday club, it'd be the Max.
Yeah,
that spin, you know, it's going to help me. If we're out on a 59, then it would have to be the SIM2 for just out and out bombs.
But you're impressed with them? You like them?
I do like them. I much prefer them to the SIM. I was never a fan of the SIM. I tried it a couple of times and just didn't really get on with it. Massive improvement, I think, in the SIM2, both in forgiveness a little bit and in looks as well. I much prefer it to the actual SIM. Right then, Dan, Max or normal?
Well, I think based on the numbers that we got today, I think I'd have to go with the Max. There's something going on in there that's making me swing it just that little bit quicker. But I don't see why I would swing this one any slower than what I was swinging this one. They've got the same shaft. Obviously the balances are slightly different in them. But if I could get the speed up with this one, I think they would be both very, very similar in their numbers. I really do. I think if I could get the ball speed out of what I was getting at the Max in the SIM, I'd get very, very similar numbers. So for me, based on the numbers that we got today, it has to be the Max. But I think I could probably play both of them. I probably fail that the Max from a sound and acoustics point of view gave me that sort of duller, thuddier kind of feel off the face, and therefore I'd probably pick that one over the actual SIM itself, which is a little bit more tinnier off the face. But to be honest with you, it's so small, the numbers that we've seen today and the feel and the looks, it's so small that I could probably put both of them in the bag.
So I've got a question for you before we finish this video, Dan.
Okay.
Do you think the SIM Max is forgiving enough for a handicapped golfer? You look at Callaway, they've got the Epic Max. You look at Ping, they've got the G425 Max, stretch back weight, you know, there for aid forgiveness. Do you feel the Max is there for a handicapped golfer? Because me personally, I think it's too low spinning and it's still not forgiving enough for your average golfer.
And what a great question. I mean, at the end of the day, they do have a third product, which is the D version of this. They've got the, which is a more draw bias version, weights possibly been moved around, talking about lighter materials, things like that. So they've probably got a version in there that is the third version, which will give those golfers that need a little bit more help with it, a bit more forgiveness, higher MOI, that will be in the third version. But these two, I think from not certainly from what I'm seeing personally, from the numbers that we got, they're very, very similar. Probably almost like too similar. I think there needs to be a bit more of a jump between them. But I think that would come down to more testing needed. But definitely there is a third version in there that I think will help a lot of golfers. But we would like to hear what you say about these products. There'll be lots of you out there that are using probably the SIM driver, and we would be interested to hear if you're looking at going down the line of into the SIM2, if you want to test it, or you've tested it and you've put it in the bag. We'd like to hear what you have to say. Don't forget, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. We'd like to get more thumbs up out there. If you do take the time to thumbs up the video, that'd be fantastic. So plenty more to come, and we'll look forward to seeing you again on the next video.